Yo, I want to chill right now.
You're disrespecting me in a public forum right now. You realize that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want that to be the goal of the podcast, for somebody to let go of their worries in the world and listen to us.
This is my new look, Daddy David. Daddy David.
Born to procreate. Born to procreate. Yeah, that better make it in the intro.
Nah, probably not.
Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to episode 71 of the Unboxing Life podcast, where we will be discussing the newest album from 21 Pilots, which is Scaled and Icy. Is it a 2 out of 10? We will be determining that in this episode, but I am joined by I like 21 Pilots. Me too, bro.
Hey, bro.
How you doing, fam?
I like 21 Pilots, smiley face. It's me. I like 21 Pilots. What can I say?
Dope,
Nice,
bro.
dude, nice.
I'm glad, man. Dope.
Yeah, they're good.
Do you like 21 Pilots?
I do like 21 Pilots. Thank you for asking.
Oh my god.
Dope.
Great discourse.
Because there's a little bit of I feel like you might not like 21 Pilots. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I know I've been vague about it in the past, and my stance has been a little wishy-washy, but I'm setting the record straight.
Okay.
What's the record straight on? Do you like 21 Pilots?
I like 21 Pilots, smiley face. Yeah.
Dope. Okay.
Smiley face.
I'm also joined by 2 out of 10 Pilots, which I had a pretty good chuckle about. That was a great
you.
name.
Thank you. What's up? It's me, everybody. We'll try not to make too many Fantana references this video.
Yeah.
This podcast, that's for sure. But
And I'm also
Maybe.
joined by is it a 2 out of 10? What's good, Alex?
What's going on? Is it a 2 out of 10? Maybe, maybe not, but we'll find out because we're going to talk about it.
And I'm Fantana was wrong. And we're the Unboxing Life podcast, so
dang.
let's get into our traditions as usual. I want to hear the track. Let's get the track of the episode.
Oh, okay. So my track for the episode is something that definitely Mulberry Street reminded me of. A little bit of Good Day reminded me of this song.
Is it an Elton John track?
It is an Elton John track.
Ooh, I got
Very-
it. I got it.
Good ear, my man. It's Benny and the Jets by Elton John.
I think
I'm a-
Rocio said this about that track. She's like, "Oh my god, this reminds me of that." That's dope.
Yeah, definitely hit me the same way. So that's funny. I'm a big fan of piano in pop music. So
Me too. Yeah.
I think it should be
Especially
utilized
mixed
more.
this way, like a really
Yeah.
like 80s feel to it.
Like really prominent, like nice chords. Yeah, I think it should be more of a thing nowadays. So
I agree,
yeah,
my
and
friend.
I'm a big fan of the song. So throwback to everyone out there. Check it out. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I like it. I'm Betty and Alex. Give me a joke.
Dang.
True. All right. So in true pilot fashion, I got to make an airplane joke.
Okay.
Dang.
So, and I know Trevor's going to appreciate this one. So
Oh god.
the last time I had to go to the airport. I tried to carry my board game onto the airplane, but the security said I couldn't. The risk was too big.
Nice. That's good.
Goodness. Trevor, big Risk fan for anyone who.
I am
isn't aware.
the biggest Risk fan on the planet. Yes, I love Risk. I always try to get these guys to play that stupid board game online. I think it's a great game,
It's
but
great fun, yeah.
I like it too. Yeah.
I love that joke. That's awesome.
That's
Good shit,
great.
bro.
Yeah. Nice.
Give me your fun fact of the episode, my G.
According to a March 2018 article from Billboard.com, the Recording Industry Association of America announced that Blurry Face had become the first album ever to have every one of its songs individually certified at least gold.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
The two highest performing songs on the album were Stressed Out, which went 7 times platinum, and Ride, which went 4 times platinum. So I found that kind of unbelievable. I was like, it hadn't happened until now, and for that album as well.
Yeah.
But obviously those two singles were just constant on the radio when that
Big,
album
massive.
dropped. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's nuts. I can't believe it was the first one either. That sounds like
I
hard
would
to
have
believe.
thought like a Drake album or like even Thriller would have done that, but
For sure.
Oh yeah, definitely at least Thriller. Man.
sheesh.
Okay.
Cool. I like that fact. That's dope.
Yeah, good for them.
What a
Right.
fucking stat. What a
Yeah.
really specific stat, but a stat nonetheless. Like,
That's still impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
all right. Well, I will give my quote of the episode, which is the third verse. It ends choker on here. It's the second track, and it goes a little like this. Like a little splinter buried in your skin. Someone else can carve it out, but when you've got the pin, it hurts a little less, and you can even push it further in. Don't do that. When your body's screaming out, just your mind is listening. Like a silhouette that you can barely see, as a shadow cast upon the ground where you'll eventually lay forever, but the day goes on, the sun moves behind you. You get taller, bolder, stronger, and the rear view only blinds you. I like
Good
it.
message. Yeah,
Very, very inspirational.
I like that message. Yeah, it's good.
You can
Very
control
cool.
your pain.
It's awesome. Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
line
real
that
funny.
like stuck out to me immediately. When I was
It's the
listening to
way that he
album.
delivers it too.
Yeah.
Like the
'cause it-
instrumentation drops out.
That's what I was
and-
gonna say. Yeah,
Yeah.
He switches delivery from the way the rest of the song has been playing out. Yeah.
It's almost like a spoken word segment of it,
Mhm.
which they used to do a lot back in the
Yeah.
day. But
Hmm.
all right, I want to do like something that we don't usually do with music boxes, but like, can you guys tell me like we had this in pre-pro, so it might be a rehash, but can you tell me a little bit about your like experience with this band? Like, because this is a very massive band that has a enormous cult following, and they
Yeah.
will like ride or die for this band. So like, can you guys tell me like what's your prior experiences with this band?
Yeah. Well, I don't know much about them. I like we we're talking about. I only heard. I can't even remember the names. Usually, stressed out and bounce or whatever it's
And
called.
ride.
Right. Yeah. So that's. I can pretty much guarantee you that's all I'd heard from them. So no experience. Didn't know we were gonna review this for a while, and then Trev was like, "All right, that's good." So I just checked it out. It's the first album I've heard by him.
It is the most accessible album, like by far in their discography too. So it's kind of
Ah,
it's a good intro point, but I feel like if you do end up diving through their discography, which I do recommend you do eventually, it'll be weird. It'll be jarring.
Interesting.
But
Well, I'm pretty sure I can access every album, Trevor. Thank you very much.
oh, that's not what I meant, sir.
okay.
Is that's
Yes.
your entire prior experience with 21 Pilots, Alex? Is that you can access every album?
Pretty much. Nah, I'm on the same plane as David, though. I've only heard Stressed Out and Ride, and
Mhm.
that's about it for me.
You guys have heard
What?
Heathens too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never think of
Suicide
that.
song.
That's-
Suicide song.
Suicide
the Suicide
Squad.
Squad
That's true.
song.
I forget that's them. I forget
Yeah,
that's them.
Right.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Huge track.
Yeah, I was gonna tack that on. It's definitely just the radio hits for me as well. I've always been aware of them in that crowd of cult followings of bands, like that, and like My Chemical Romance, and like Panic at the Disco, and like that sort
Oh,
of scene of
My heart.
of that collection of music fans. And so I've always been aware of them. Never really made an effort to try to listen to them, but everything I hear for them that pops off, I like. So when you said, because this episode spawned from basically being like, oh, if you're going to talk about it on the variety episode, then let's do a whole episode on it, because I want to listen to that album too, because it's yet another band that I've been meaning to actually dive into their discography to some degree at least. So for you to be
I
like,
fully recommend.
brand new 21 Pilots album, I liked it a lot, let's I want to talk about it in the pod, I was like, let's do a whole music box then. So here we are. So yeah, excited.
Yeah, I was gonna give like a brief like overview of it when we were doing the New York episode last week, and we just said fuck it, let's just do, because it's still relatively new. It came out,
Yep.
I want to say 2 weeks ago, like the 21st or 22nd. It came out the Friday that I was in New York, and I first heard it on the Staten Island Ferry, which is dope. It was a really cool intro to this album.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I did want to show that I've seen them live. I have been blessed by seeing them live like 3 years ago, and I have a tour shirt that I don't want to wear because I have a bunch of BO right now, and I'll stink it up. But
Yeah,
That's a little-
nasty.
a little logo on the front, and then this is
Cool
for
colors.
their yeah, it is.
So say
But this is
Bandito.
their this is their Trench era, their previous album.
Nice.
Cool.
But yeah, no, they're a fire group to watch live if you ever do get the chance to. They perform like a motherfucker. There's only two of them, so it's got the vocalist who also I think he does a bunch of keyboard stuff, and then the drummer. So, cool shit.
Yeah.
I love when like duos of or like even trios of like rock bands can put out music that sounds like there's 5 people in the band, but there's only 2 of them. Like I think that's a cool thing.
Definitely.
And yeah, I guess I'll give my background on it. The first time I heard this band, I was working at Hot Topic as a sales associate. You know, the little greeter every time you walk in. Hey, by the way, it's buy one get one half off. You know, go buy the shirts.
And his hair did not look like it does now.
No, God, no.
I think there's an old episode where you held your driver's license photo up to the camera, and good lord, were you different?
I definitely had the shaggy haircut.
Yeah, it was
sure.
just picture a Hot Topic salesperson in your mind. That's what Trevor was.
Yeah, but I actually smiled. Like I was actually happy.
Dang.
But we had this like in-store like radio basically where we could throw on new albums like of that alternative emo scene. And Blurry Face had just dropped, and we listened to that. I shit you not. Every time I was in the shift, we had that on at least one time. That album was huge for them.
Yeah.
So that's where I learned of them, and then I ended up getting to see them 3 years later, which was really cool. I don't consider myself like a diehard fan, and I actually just listened to their debut like 2 days ago, and it's rough. It's really rough.
Dang.
For me, at least. It's weird. But a lot of people really love it. They like lyrics are one of the biggest pillars of their appeal to a lot of people. So, yeah, I'm happy that we're talking about them. So, how'd you guys feel about it, bro? I want to hear.
First impressions. What are we thinking?
Oh, Dave is gonna shit on it real quick.
I'm a little like on it just cause I guess. Because I know everybody's shitting on it, and I'm not. I haven't fed into any of that crap. But listening to it for myself and having only heard the big singles, there's a lot of stuff I enjoyed. I enjoyed a lot of like the instrumental aspects to it, but there wasn't like, for me, there wasn't any songs on here that I heard and I'm like, this is gonna be as big as Ride, or this is gonna be as big as that. I could see as like a major hit for them. And so it was kind of mid for me in that way. I will say, like, I still enjoyed, like I said, the instrumentation on it, and I could see where they're going with it, but that's how I'm feeling.
I totally agree on the big single being there's like no big single on here. I think Shy Away is their lead single on here, and I think it's like 42 million streams on Spotify, which is it's awesome. That's like a huge amount of streams for like a single, but on the scale of what they normally turn out for, like even like the single from Trench did like 300 mil, and you know, seeing it kind of go down like that, I totally agree. There's not a huge like hit single on here, but there's a lot of solid stuff on here for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I could see kind of being turned into one, but not like. There's nothing that stands out. It's like, oh, this is one they made to be the freaking single, you know? Like, yeah, I feel you
think
on that.
Saturday or Good Day could be like another great single, but
Mulberry Street could be even.
Yeah,
I think so.
I think Saturday is the one that I would put forth because it is, you know, it's like poppy trendy type of song about like, oh, you know, let's have fun on the weekend, and I'm not like bashing it for that. I like those kinds of songs. I'd actually like Saturday a lot. So, but it's like that's the kind of thing that I could see being on the radio and people playing of like at parties and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
which
True,
is what are the two? What are the singles? It's like Shy Away is one
Shy
that
Away.
you said, and then Chokers, is that the other one?
I don't know. I don't know the other single that they went off with.
I want to say it is Choker, which is a little.
It's another weird pick. Shy Away is not a weird pick because it's got a really driving hook, but Choker is not what I would pick for a single, honestly. But then again, Cole did Amari for his lead single, and I don't agree with that either. So I guess singles games are just weird. It's
nowadays,
what we think could be single might not be, you know, in the eyes of the label.
Yeah,
and like Cameron said about listening to it on the radio, playing it on the radio. I heard some of these songs, and and I feel like there's totally songs that I would hear in like freaking Hollister or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
I can see that.
or
Yeah,
Hot Topic, right? So yeah, that's it. It makes sense. Yeah, it's
yeah,
I feel that way about it. When I was listening to it, and because I listened to it after Trevor gave his like initial thoughts on it, basically, and like he said, you started it when you were on the Staten Island ferry or whatever.
Coming back to Manhattan.
Listening to it, I was imagining it being phenomenal city walking music.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty calm all the way through. He's never like yelling at you, never being too intense. Really. On
Yeah,
any
the
track.
only like rocker on here is Never Take It.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And so it's calm. It's nice to listen to. It never, it's not offensive to the ears at all. Whatever the opposite of that is, it's pleasurable to listen to, in my opinion. So I enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's like rainy day music.
Yeah, rainy day music
Like,
is good.
kinda
Yeah, walking
comfy.
music.
Yeah,
Just kinda-
very comfy.
It feels like what I mean by city walking music too is like, like a movie soundtrack when you're in transition from scene to scene and the characters are just walking, and that like you got like background music like that. It's nothing too distracting, but it's always pleasant and good to listen to. So yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, because it is good. Like I listened to it twice in the car and then once when I was walking. And walking was like the best fit for it for sure. So
Yeah,
It's got a lot of walking bops for sure.
It's not 80 miles an hour music. That's for sure.
no, and it's also not like, oh, I'm bumping the frick out of this. Let me turn this up in my car like
let me crank
crazy.
the
Like not
bass.
that it. Yeah, not necessarily like that, but yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. We want to get into. Do we want to do like I don't know how you guys want to tackle this because it's not the most involved album, and it's absolutely their most accessible album in terms of like easeability and like listening. So there's not a whole lot to unpack here. So like, do we want to do?
I think we could do. We don't necessarily need to go through every track, but bring up a lot of them and just sort of like there's definitely a lot I want to talk about. Just
Okay.
yeah.
But before, real quick, Trevor, I want to ask you something. So I know you're talking about how it's accessible, and it totally is, because that's the vibe they went for. Do you think that's like, in the eyes of like these hardcore fans, do you think that's a drawback for them that it's accessible?
Absolutely. Especially with this band. Like, I don't know how Blurry Face was received. I know like I enjoyed the shit out of it. But like they went for a really big mainstream feel, and it didn't feel like a 21 Pilots album. So this one, I don't frequent Twitter. I don't frequent, Instagram comments and all that shit. So I have no idea how people actually feel about this album, but I can totally see this fan base in particular not liking this album because it's fairly straightforward. It doesn't feel like a 21 Pilots album. The only song on here that feels like a 21 Pilots song is Redecorate.
I was thinking that.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that one that makes a lot of sense. Even having never heard another album, it's like, okay, that one is a certain tone and like, yeah, for sure. That's
That
interesting.
definitely bleeds.
Yeah.
It bleeds their earlier days, but the others are just like it's a complete tonal shift.
Yeah, it didn't sound quite like what I'd heard, and they go for. I mean, it seems like at least with their giant singles that they're quite accessible and everything, but this is like a lot of simple topics, sort of, and just more upbeat songs, I guess, than. And
Yeah, the upbeat point right there. That's when I first heard this. I was like 4 tracks in, and I'm like, I got to Saturday, and I'm like, wow, this is like really happy music, because they make happy sounding music, but when you look at the lyrics, it's like, okay, he's like kind
Good
of talking
Day.
about suicide. Yeah,
Good
where
Day.
and Good Day is like
Lost my
him
job and wife and
imagining-
child. Homie just sued me.
Yeah, I think that story of that song comes from him like just imagining that happening to him, but he still manages to say, "Hey, it's a good day. Like I'm moving on." But
yeah.
this
Which
definitely feels it's upbeat for them. Definitely.
That makes sense. Yeah. Because
It's-
Good Day was one of my favorites. Like I thought that was a
Yeah, I
great.
would say the same.
Yeah, they use the piano really well. Just
I'm with you.
yeah.
Very driving and just good. It's a good day, man. It's
Yeah.
a real good day. The only like the first 7 songs on here are straight bangers for me. The only one that I don't particularly care for is Choker. I kind of
Interesting.
ease out of it, but after that, I'm down. I'm super down.
I like Choker has a mix of things for me. Like honestly, a lot of songs on this album are kind of have certain things I like and certain things I don't. So Choker, I like the drum break a lot, like the little instrumental stuff they're doing,
Mm,
but I don't like the chorus, and that really like hinders it for me.
I'm with
Yeah.
you. I do
Okay.
like when they open it up with the choir per se, where it almost feels like I can totally see them doing this song, and I almost can guarantee you that they're doing the song when they go tour, because it opens up at the last chorus or whatever. And it's like I wanna choke, or like that shit. But
Yeah,
Mhm.
I actually like the vocal harmony on that hook a lot. It's like you were saying, like the choir. It hits the ear right for me. I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah.
I love like how Alice was saying when we were playing this before we started recording, where it goes like do do do, and then he goes
Yeah. Yeah.
do do do. I love those little bits. But
I like that part too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
nice instrumentation. I love the humming being part of the beat and everything, and it like I said, hits the ear right. That hum is right there with it. And it's interesting because it was like it's fast paced instrumentation, but he's singing very slow, like almost half the pace.
he
So
doesn't.
it's-
Yeah, he doesn't say a whole lot on here.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it's interesting. I like that song honestly.
Yeah.
It's just
I would also
stand out for me.
Well, yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah.
What? Just go ahead. We don't have to
Yeah, I
conform
know.
to a structure. Go ahead. Give me.
I was gonna say I like the lyrics that you quoted from this song, but this is I guess the first time he raps on the album, and I just when he raps to me, it sounds like exactly what I think of when I think of like generic pop rap. Like this dude can't actually rap, but he's just throwing it on a pop song. Like I
The
didn't
funny
enjoy
thing
it.
is he's
Yeah.
actually really talented with coming up with like rhyming schemes and shit like that, but when it comes to listening to it on like the earlier stuff, especially like Vessel, which is their second album, it's rough to hear because it's like exactly how you just said it, but I will say it even worse. Like it's generic white boy rap. Like
That's-
NF like times 7 trying to be Eminem.
That's
And like sheltered
yeah.
and likes I like rap, but my favorite rapper is Eminem. Like that's exactly what the vibe is.
That's exactly how this felt to me all over this album. Like every time he rapped, I didn't enjoy any.
He
of the
doesn't
first
rap
songs.
very often though
Yeah,
on
yeah,
here.
yeah, I know.
at all.
It just made every song. Well, I'll say redecorate. I thought the rapping was fine, but because he sort of has I don't know, he has a topic and he just
Redecorate's great. We'll get there.
Yeah, but that was a hindrance
You
for me.
think that okay? So you would consider that last bit of Choker him rapping?
I mean, I guess you
'Cause I
said the
don't.
spoken word thing. That does kind of make sense.
I don't.
it-
I don't consider that rapping.
I guess. I mean, he's kind of rhyming on beat, though. I don't know.
He
I
is. And I
it could-
guess technically it could literally be cold rapping if you
Yeah.
if you wanted to take it there, yeah. But
Yeah, I guess it doesn't sound that different from the other rapping on here. Honestly, that's the thing to me. It's just they all kind of sound like that to me, but I don't know.
you okay? We'll get to that song in a second.
Okay, yeah.
So we're on Shy Away now, right? Any other takes on Mr. Choker? Oh, fucking! When Rocio first heard this, she thought he said, "I was born to choke her."
Dang,
That's
I
tough.
was like, babe, no, he's not saying that.
that would
That
be
is
tough.
that is fully tough.
It would be
yeah.
uber tough.
Is
That's a
that
whole
is
different
that an
song,
Eminem
yeah.
track?
Probably that could be
Most likely.
Most
Yeah, no,
likely.
there's no
yeah.
most likely. He's got an entire album called Relapse
Yeah.
where he kills
God.
women on there. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. At least. Yeah.
Ooh.
That's good. Yeah.
What? Should we bleep that?
No.
Well,
No.
I mean
Okay.
it's just it's factual, so
That's exactly what Eminem. Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
move off of Eminem. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I get what you mean about the rapping.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it was too easy.
There's
Yeah.
not that, but like I said, there's not that much rapping on here. There's only like 2 other tracks on here that he predominantly raps on.
Yeah, which I was thankful for.
I don't know.
I
I
like-
feel
'cause-
it's just
He's
like
gotten better over time.
like, I
though.
just-
it's
I
That-
am scared
what
to
I'm-
see what it was originally. To be honest.
yeah. I see. This is what I'm talking about. Like this particular band, it's like it's weird, man. This is a really weird entry point because if you don't get over that hump of him, rapping that style, those other earlier albums are gonna be rough, bro.
that's really
Yeah.
funny because I don't feel
Yeah.
any type of way about it. I think it's fine, and it's not like I'm not like, damn, this motherfucker's spitting. Like I'm not like that, but I have no problem with it. So it's
I love
it's,
that fucking meme.
it's
Yo, damn, this
Yeah.
motherfucker's spitting though.
it's kind of
Like he
funny to
could be
me that
saying like a word. Oh, that motherfucker's spitting though.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of funny to me that you feel so strongly about it. Which I mean, you're
I don't
definitely
wanna-
welcome to. But
Yeah, I don't want to overblow it. I guess I sort of implied he couldn't rap. I'm not trying to say that. Actually, I don't want to be too harsh. Just definitely for me, just how it lines up with my taste is like that, like exactly like when I think of like
Yeah.
a pop song, it's
I
just
get it.
not in the genre of hip hop, and he's just sort of trying to lay something out, like a vague message, and just his delivery and everything just
I get
hits
it.
me the wrong
Yeah.
way. But
I sort of feel where David's saying, not in terms of like the actual rap, but I feel like a lot of the delivery kind of loses me because I feel like it is sort of generic in that sense, but it's not like at that peak of like this is mainstream huge, like I was saying before. And so some tracks kind of lose me in terms of when he starts. I don't want, maybe his delivery, I don't know, something about
Do you have
it.
any like particular moments on here that it loses you?
I think Shy Away. I would say Shy Away kind of loses me.
interesting.
Damn. Okay.
Shy Away
I like
grew
Shy
on
Away.
me. I was
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
Shy Away a lot, and it grew on me as well because this was like, oddly enough, for it being the lead single, this is the one that I remembered the least. Like for my
Yeah.
first like 4 listens.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like what? I only remember "Don't You Shy Away." That's the only part that I remember to that song.
Yeah.
I like the phrase "and I love you" that isn't words that he uses. I like that phrase a lot, and especially his delivery of it is nice in that song. So
That's what he says.
"and I love you" that
Right.
isn't words. Yeah.
I literally did not hear that at all. I heard like a sung hero that's never heard.
A song he wrote that's never heard. Yeah.
Oh,
Is
that's
what
a
he says
different
after. Yeah.
Did you say a sun
Wait.
hero?
I believe
Like
I
a
didn't.
sung, like you know how like there's the phrase
Oh.
like unsung hero where you do a
Oh, yeah,
heroic
yeah,
thing
yeah.
but it's not praise.
I didn't
like, I
actually.
thought-
I
Heard like a sung hero that was never heard. Like that makes sense in my head, but
one. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I didn't actually
it's
look
De
it up
Niro all over again.
and copy it one from one. One for one.
Yeah,
but
I think I think I heard that same lyric though. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah, I enjoyed Shy Away. It's
The chorus is great.
yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do a good job with it. Yeah, it's a nice little like rock tune kind of thing.
Yeah.
hmm
Very steady tempo. Doesn't really change his tempo too much, and I love like the part where it kind of subverts your expectations. Like where, like for like another 2 bars at the very end, he like continues the hook, and then it goes right back in with like the drum roll and everything. And I found that part to be particularly satisfying. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's like speaking about the audio just like as is, like just when you're I was trying to communicate this thought however I could, but it's like on the album as a whole, it feels like you don't really have to pay attention to it too much. You can kind of just let the sound kind of wash over you, and like his voice is super nice, so it just melds with the instrumentation, and you don't have to like you don't have to think about it too hard, which is nice. Like obviously, we talk about RTJ, we talk about Kendrick, we talk about like these lyricists that are like fucking cutting deep and like saying genius things, like very simply, and it's. I mean, he has some nice lyricism on here and everything, but it's not like you're not like having a big brain the whole album. You kind of just let it hang out, and it's chill. It's nice. So he does that a lot. I think I forget where I started there because I was gonna make a point about the song, but anyway, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, I mean that definitely plays into the song because it's definitely just like a straight, it like just vibes out in a way to me.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Um,
it's satisfying a lot of the time. I think that's where I started from, was the word satisfying, where it's just like, this is nice. I'm enjoying this. And you don't have to really like be too about it or into it or
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like on the outside, the next one is.
Oh, I love this song so much, dude.
I was interested.
it
Yeah, I was
is
interested to see.
super catchy.
This song is fucking great. I was telling Cam that I want to be drunk in the middle of a pub crawl, hearing that hook up and down. They're not in. I love that
Heads are
fucking hook so
moving
much,
up
dude.
and down. Yeah.
Dang.
And then I just love it when pop songs do that, where it's like the set amount of syllables, where it's like stand in line one by one, take a hit, join the club.
Join
and it's
the
like
club.
it's all, the same amount of syllables. It's all very like formatted basically. And it's just so catchy to me especially because it's on beat. So yeah, it's great.
Okay, so David, I'm going to solicit your opinion on the rapping on here as well,
Okay.
and then I'm going to tell you you're wrong.
All right, didn't like.
Didn't like
it.
Okay, yeah.
I believe he's kind of being like braggadocious a little on here, maybe.
Yep.
That's kind of the what I picked up. Yeah. Didn't I so my favorite part of the song is the groove. I feel like it has a really nice groove, and the way like you're talking about the chorus, like I like how it just sort of like crescendos a bit and gets all big, and then it like returns right back to the groove. That's a nice little dynamic thing that I like when songs do. So I enjoy that.
For
I
sure.
enjoy like I think the guitar that comes in at the end, but the rapping I'm just like, all right.
I love his delivery of the rap on here. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's very crisp. It's the production on this particular part. You can hear every word that he says, but he doesn't over enunciate everything. I think it's enjoyable, but I can totally see how you don't like it.
Yeah. Is this the one where he says, I'm vibing?
Yeah, this is that song. Yeah.
Wow, I was not vibing when he said that. I can't lie to you.
No.
That like killed it for me. Yeah, that was
Oh.
like, how you gonna repeat that too? Like that as a refrain. I'm like, dang. But I don't know. It's just it hindered it. That's all I can say.
Interesting.
It hindered it. Every single track, except maybe Redecorate, the rapping hindered it. But
Interesting. Okay.
yeah.
I'm really not surprised that you have this take. Like,
Yeah.
you're very accomplished with your.
And
you're definitely accomplished with your rap taste, but you're also very particular with how you like your rap. You don't like white boy rap.
I don't. It's funny because I don't even want it to be. It doesn't have to be lyrical miracle. It doesn't have to be like mind blowing freaking stuff. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like he doesn't say much, and he says it in a way that he's like making you pay attention to it, and then. But whatever, it's all good.
I can see that. I can see it.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to hear to see your reaction to some of their older stuff, man.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, but
Yeah.
that's for another day.
I guess it is. Yeah. Another day like Saturday.
Another day like I'm so glad you got it. Fuck yeah, man.
Nice. Yeah.
This song is super joyful.
Too nice with the segues. Yeah,
We're segue kings, man.
it's a super happy, cheerful song. It's like I said, it feels like a radio like play one of the ones that I would put at the top of like play at a party off the album. It's just fun.
Yeah, it's cool.
I love the like giving basically every day of the week like a task, like slowing down on Monday, not a sound on Wednesday. I love that because I always like I'm like, all right, what is he gonna say next? How is he gonna categorize this day? You know, like might make a sound on Friday. Like Fridays are pretty lit, man. We're recording right now. It's a Friday. Fridays are pretty lit, but he's gonna paint the town.
Paint the town, yeah.
Yeah, the song is super funky. You got a nice groove. Just and like the I guess the bridge where it leads into the last verse or the last chorus, and he's having a phone call with his wife, and he's at the studio, and he's like, "Yo, I'm about to be done with the song, or whatever. I want to watch Friends with you or something." And she's like, "Well, if you have an idea for a song, just stay in the studio and keep making it." And then it goes,
Wait. So he does say, "I want to watch Friends with you," right?
Yeah, he's talking to his wife.
I had to rewind that a couple of times because I thought I heard him say, "I want to watch the Friends reunion." and I'm like,
Dang. Yeah.
that's what
The
I heard. Then I
friend.
rewinded, and I'm like, it doesn't quite. It's kind of hard to make out what he says after Friends, but
That's funny.
Friends with you. Yeah.
Wanna
Yeah,
watch
he's,
Friends
he's
reunion.
talking to his wife.
Alex
Yeah.
the walking HBO Max ad.
Yeah, true. That would be some.
Which I don't have. I still haven't seen the Friends reunion, but
Nah, neither
Yeah.
have
Be a very recent reference. I haven't seen it either.
I. Super
Very
recent.
recent. Very recent reference for a very recent album.
That is true. That is
Right.
true. Yeah, I think Saturday's cool. I'm not in love with it,
Yeah.
but it's cool.
It's a good feel good song.
mhm.
Yeah.
Like Cameron was saying, it's not too mentally intensive where you have to pick up every bit of the lyrics. This is very much a straightforward, very happy song.
Yeah,
For sure. I can appreciate that.
yeah. Not doing anything crazy, just a catchy little vibe. You just kind of,
Yeah.
just kind of chill with it.
That's basically how I feel about the entire album.
Same, yeah.
Makes sense.
Um,
Which they definitely try to go for more of a message on never take it, you know. I think.
they're trying hard to weaponize you and I. Will never take it.
Yeah.
A little bit of
yeah.
a rebellious attitude towards the system.
Yeah, they profit off a great divide, you know.
Yeah, there's a part where he talks about they sell your information on that term of agreement. I think that's this
Yeah.
song. It might be a different one.
I think it's this one.
Yeah, he has another line about that on a different one, though. I know you're talking
does he?
about. Yeah. But
It's
Yeah.
not on this song. Yeah, it's on
yeah,
a different
the-
song.
The punchline.
It's on No Chances. That's what it is.
right.
The punchline ends
Yeah.
up being, you better educate yourself, but never too much.
Yeah, I love that
I
part.
love that line. I love that line.
I like
it's-
the melody of it, but I don't like those lyrics.
I take it.
Okay.
I take it a couple ways because it's like the ignorance is bliss thing, right? Where like you can educate yourself to the point of like knowing all this stuff, but then the more you know, the more you realize like, oh, the world's a fucked up place. Like this is bad. And then you can like dig yourself a hole there of like knowing too
I guess
much
that
can feel like that. But it's also been talking about rebelling against the government and stuff like that. It's like, oh, we want our people to be educated, but not enough that they can actually do anything to us, that kind of thing. So I kind of took it both
Yeah,
ways. I don't know which way it's intended, but
I guess so.
or if it's intended to be
I-
taken both
I-
ways or more than two.
I agree with both of those takes, honestly.
Yeah.
And I have firsthand experience with that, like when the Jacob Blake incident happened, and I just kept like researching, like just the fucked up shit that was happening when the Black Lives Matter movement was like really at its peak last year, and
Yep.
like the more that I looked into, the more I felt like awful. Like I had like a 3-day period where I just felt like shit, and I just
Yeah.
kind of needed a break. So I totally I totally relate to these lyrics.
Yeah.
For sure.
feel
It's
like that's a
definitely you have to be
that's a
informed,
big thing with
absolutely,
that.
but like at the same time, take care of your mental health too. So I don't know. It's a
I feel
very
like the funny
delicate
thing
balance.
with the album, part of how I feel about it is like a lot of these lyrics are very meaningful and it's easy to be there. I feel like they're easily overshadowed by everything else on the album. But if you actually take the time to look into like a lot of the lyrics,
To
yeah,
me, yeah, I kind of felt differently. We could maybe have a debate about the lyrics, but like, it was like this song in particular is like you're gonna cover a topic, but you're gonna say the most like just the surface level, like that, and that's it. Like I'm gonna say what the theme is, and then I'm gonna drop it. And for me, that's kind of why like that's part of the album I didn't vibe with, just because you don't have to be like going crazy. This is like, to me, this is a pop album, so you don't have to say anything nuts. But I'm like, dang, man, couldn't have gotten a little more, but
I enjoy this track for being like I could totally see people marching the streets with this just like instrumentation and just like the really like I don't know how to say it, but like crowd chanting like I could totally see people like getting behind that, even if it is like a simple message, just having a bunch of people. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely get what you're saying, David. It is in a lot of ways surface level is accurate. I think there is still value in that sometimes, like to point out a thing is much more than pretending it doesn't exist, right? But then actually analyzing and saying something intelligent about the problem is also far more than just pointing it out.
Yeah.
So I definitely get what you're saying. I don't, like I said, it's kind of because of the sort of vibe that they like, trying to think, curated. It like, I didn't really want them to be too terribly thoughtful and pensive and like sad and or angry or like anything like that. It's but then I guess to your point, maybe don't bring it up at all, right? So yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
interesting.
don't know. I guess I kind of feel both ways about it. I'm not really sure.
I'm trying to think what makes a difference, because I enjoy, like, songs that have a message but are just kind of lighter, like, and I like, pop album, like, Ariana had like some dope messages on her stuff on the album we listened to, and she didn't need to go super in depth on stuff, but I enjoyed that. So
True.
yeah, I'm not sure where my brain makes a differentiation, but I don't know. Yeah.
I like the guitar solo on here, though. This is the one and only guitar solo that we get on here.
Yeah, that's probably the one I was thinking of. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
It's another straightforward, pretty nice rock anthem. Honestly, that's not mad at it at all. It's a highlight on here for me. But.
Nice.
Cool.
A highlight for me, man, is Mulberry Street.
Yes.
You ready to tell your story, Trev?
Yeah, I guess. So if you guys heard our episode 68, we talked about, more specifically, I talked about my recent trip to New York City. And you guys have already heard the story, but I'll say it again anyway. We were walking around Chinatown, and there's at the crossroads between Chinatown, the Chinatown district, and the Little Italy district, is a little street called Mulberry Street. And it quite literally connects. Like, if you look on one side of the street, there's Chinatown. You look on the other side of the street, it says "Welcome to Little Italy." And it's like a complete culture shock clash between two worlds, and it's dope as fuck. But Rocio was getting tea at this like sidewalk stand that we saw, and I'm sitting here listening to the album, just looping it, and this song comes on for the first time. I hadn't heard it before, and I get to the chorus, and I'm just sitting there like, she's getting her tea. I'm just kind of looking at my phone, and then right as I put my phone away, the first chorus hits. And he goes, "Welcome to Mulberry Street." And right as he's saying that, I look over to my left and I see the sign that says Mulberry Street, and I fucking lost my shit. I was like, babe, like, I literally like I even looked it up, like, because she was like, Mulberry Street is like a famous street, right? But I don't know if it's this one. And I looked it up. This is the one. This is the fucking one that they're writing about. So I pulled up my phone. I looked at the lyrics. I'm like, babe, this is it right here. So we crossed the street, and then I made a little cute story on Instagram for just I tied in the song, but that was a super highlight of my day.
I'll say the same thing.
I had never seen. It was fucking chilling, man. It was dope.
It was an insane synchronicity. I'll say the same thing that I said in response to that on the Variety, which was that I saw your Instagram story, and you took that nice little snap of the sign, and with the on Instagram stories you can imprint the song over it, and it plays the audio. And it was like, "Welcome to Mulberry Street," and I was like, "Oh, this cheeseball, he's in New York. He went and found the Mulberry Street like sign to take an Insta story of it." Like, I figured you were like maybe a couple blocks away, and I knew you guys were walking around a ton, so it was like, wasn't like
that was how we got around.
It wouldn't have been ridiculous for you to be like, "Oh, let's go this way so that we can pass Mulberry Street." But then you told that story, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like, that's actually awesome.
But I would totally do that as well. Like, I would totally seek it out and be like that corny guy that's like, "Oh, this is on the album." Like, that's my entire. That's like 90% of my humor.
Yeah,
so.
it's mad cheesy, which is why I expected that of you. But it was just, the story was really cool. So.
No, it was certainly like I was in the Matrix. I was like my own. I was like the protagonist of my story. It's almost like an E3 reveal where they're playing, and it's like super how should you say, orchestrated, when even like their movements with this, like the joysticks, it's like super smooth. There's no ricketiness, and they just happen to pan over here. Oh, by the way, we added Mulberry Street to the Division 3 or something like that, like
Dang, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
I guess you could find it in the Division, right? Damn.
Maybe so.
Depends on-
Yeah,
is it-
I didn't honestly didn't even think about it. It's
Is
Lower Manhattan. It's like.
Hmm.
So it probably
I
is
don't-
then.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like 25th Street or something like that. I don't know, something down there.
Nice. So that's
Near
what I was
the Lower
wondering
District.
then. Do you know why the song is named that, or why they sing about it?
I think I'm not going to look at the Genius again, but it basically was like when they first landed in NYC, this was like the feeling that they had walking down this. Like even the hook is, or the hook says like keep sidewalk under your feet. Like that's like the culmination of the idea of NYC is like you need to establish the fact that you're on the sidewalk as well. You're not going to get pushed over because there's so many people, especially in that district. Like there's restaurants at every corner, every 3 feet there's a new restaurant, and there's a shit ton of people everywhere.
Yeah.
So this was like his reaction to first being in NYC and touching that
That's
street.
what's the line where he's like, "Get out of the way," or what does he say?
Yeah, so move out of our way.
Move out of-
Oh, that makes sense.
We're moving
yeah.
sideways. Yeah,
That makes more sense now. Dang, that's
yeah.
cool. Yeah,
No, it's awesome.
sounds like it fits that vibe very well for sure. Yeah,
This is the best track on the album, by the way.
it might be for me. It's like up there with Good Day for sure. I enjoy it quite a bit. Nice piano usage, as I mentioned.
Oh,
the
yeah,
horn, the little, where like the trumpets come in at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. I fucking love this song, dude.
Hmm. That's good.
This is one of the highlights of the year for me. I think, yeah, for this song. Every time it just brings me back to, and it's probably like a cheat. Like if I hadn't heard this album in NYC, I may feel slightly different for it, but like it has a totally special place in my heart now. It's like cemented.
Yeah,
This was like
we've
this is
talked
my
about
NYC
that
soundtrack.
pretty extensively of like the pairing of like music with good life moments like definitely heightens your opinion of it regardless. Correct. That is correct.
If you heard that in any other time in your life, I swear to God, you would agree with us.
I don't know honestly, but maybe who knows? But it's fine.
Yeah.
I told that story at length on whatever episode it was. I'm sure Trevor remembers somehow. But
I don't know that.
Top 10 albums of all time.
It's-
Yeah, I forget.
oh, was it that
Might
one?
have
what number.
Yeah, it must have been
I
that.
think
It must
so.
have been top 10 albums of all time. Yeah, that's the only time I would have told the story. So yeah,
Did that make your top 10?
yeah.
It's
Bro,
outrage all over
we talked
again.
about this that I had listened to like 25 albums. Oh my god. We talked about this was that my top 10 was gonna be like not exactly the strongest
Yeah.
thing you've ever seen because I've listened to like 25 albums ever. So like
It's fine, Cameron.
Now-
you don't need
now
to
that's-
justify
now
it
it's different.
to anybody. That's your top 10, buddy.
thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
Buddy. Yeah, pat you on the head for your shitty
It's
opinion.
okay. It's okay, buddy boy. No, no one's saying anything bad about you. It's okay. You can have your opinion. It can be wrong, but you can have your
True.
opinion. No, yeah, dude. It's but yeah, the central point stands is like you being in New York with your girlfriend, having a phenomenal time on your vacation, listening to this like super chill album as your soundtrack. Definitely is a heightening experience. But like,
Yeah.
why not? Like, why? It doesn't mean you like because we talked about subjectivity and everything. Like, you being able to enjoy it that much just is a good thing. It's not like you're wrong for it. It's just a good thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no need to put an asterisk on it and say,
Yeah,
hey,
exactly,
the reason why I love this, even if it's mediocre, is because I had a great experience with it. You know, it's not nothing like that, but
Mhm.
definitely something to note.
Yeah. Dang.
But yeah, no, this track is fantastic. I don't have anything else besides
It
that.
is, and I don't know if I'm gonna get any heat for this, but a track that's not fantastic is
Formidable.
for me
I
Formidable.
feel that.
My least favorite song on here.
It's not
and-
not so formidable, you would say.
Yes, I guess I would say that. Yeah.
This one grew on me, but I like the first handful of listens, I was like, this is the part of the album where it sort of slows down on its really happy and joyful momentum, but it's still I love the lyrics on here, like just talking about his relationship with his wife and 13 years later, and I don't know. I enjoy the lyrics on here, and the instrumentation grew on me, but I totally see how this could be your least favorite on
Yeah,
it.
I do like in general. I mean, this song I kind of agree. It's forgettable. I guess I don't like. I can't even picture it in my head. I remember liking it, and I remember liking the guitar riff. Like the main guitar riff sounds super nice.
Do do do.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was my favorite
but
part of it.
yeah, I couldn't recite the lyrics or anything. But what I will say is, in general, I like hearing songs of musicians talking about their happy marriage. It's because it feels like it doesn't happen that often, where it's
You know what? You're right.
Listen
you're
to
right.
Chance.
Listen to the Good Day. Yeah, you love that.
The
Or
Big
was
Day.
it the Big Day? Yeah,
The Big Day.
Good Day. I'm thinking of this album. Dang.
yeah. So
Yeah.
people talking about their happy relationships is always super nice and wholesome. So I do like it in that respect.
I agree.
That is
Yeah.
true. It kind of goes back to what I was saying about lyrics being, the lyrics are there, but everything else kind of just unfortunately brings it down for me. Like makes it not brings it down because it doesn't sound bad. It's just not
there.
rememberable.
Yeah. It's. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah,
We
it's
don't have to spend too much more
yeah.
time on here.
Yeah.
Not my
And I
not my
know I
favorite
said
track.
not rememberable. Is that even a word? It's not memorable.
Memorable.
I get. Yeah, I got you.
I got you.
Yeah.
So the next song, I don't run to it, and I will never run to it because it's not something that's like inherently replayable. But at the same time, every time I hear it, I'm happy. I don't know why. I think the instrumentation on here is great. Like I love when he switches up the cymbal, and he taps it like 4 times, and then he goes back to no cymbal, and then he kind of brings it in a little bit. But I'm like a sucker for like cymbal switch ups like that. So it's like super simple, but I like the story of this track.
Yeah, it's a very light and fun song, but it's like
I don't know what he did.
He's being like
But
hunted and
He's
you
having
know,
to fled. He's having to
toss
flee.
him a band, go down to Mexico. Yeah,
Couple bands, yeah.
yeah.
Hearing him say a couple bands, especially considering like what he's been talking about on these previous albums, is kind of fucking hilarious. Like,
Is this one where he says he has like soldiers on his pedigree?
Yes.
no, well, is it? Yeah,
It is. Yeah,
Yeah.
That blew my mind that he
it
said
is.
that.
It is funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting subject matter for sure. The way the instrumentation and the way the lyricism is delivered as well, gives me like Beatles vibes. Like it feels like a Beatles song. Honestly, to me, it's I couldn't tell you like the exact one it sounds like, but sonically, like the way the instruments work together and the way he delivers the lines, it feels like a Beatles song.
I was thinking. It's weird. I had that same thought. Like, if this was a song from the '50s, I'd be like, "Oh, that's charming and cute" or whatever.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
yeah. But I'm not a fan.
Okay.
I just wish it's interesting. Like, it could be such fun subject matter, but I just feel like he doesn't. Nothing funny or charming about it. He just doesn't say anything interesting about. Like, I feel like you could make some sort of jokey lyrics about like the situation, but
Yeah.
it just seems like they cover stuff in a very whitewashed, generic, like surface level way that just kind of makes me tune out sometimes. And that I don't know what it is, like a fiddle, like a violin or something, like played in a like a country way almost, like the sounds like yeah. I feel like that would be on like the title screen of some like video game that's not very good. That's kind of how I felt when I heard it. It's like. It kind of sounded like cheap instrumentation to me, but
I don't know if I agree with that, but that is funny.
I also don't agree. I love the instrumentation on this particular track. So
Yeah,
I feel you.
that's a
I guess
funny
I
way
don't feel you, but-
to imagine it.
I just love the little lyrical bop. You should bounce, 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 man.
Yeah.
Come to the house, man. I'll let my old lady know. Like,
Well, that's good to know that the way David feels, because the next time they ask me about it, they say, "How does David feel about it?" I say, "Does he like it that much?" No chance. You know.
oh,
Oh,
wow,
dang.
I'm cringing.
I don't know, man.
I was
That was pretty good. I think that was pretty good.
We go for you.
I didn't realize he was doing it until he did it. So,
yeah.
decent,
Dang.
solid.
Speaking of cringing,
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Come on.
You don't like
hold
you don't
on,
like
man.
the.
Are you gonna
It's
tell
not
me?
bad.
Are you gonna tell me that freaking vocal line you just sang was like, "Oh, this is dope, man"? Like
What?
that
What
we
part?
come for you.
The-
I'm not. No, that's.
The Roman Catholic Church choir.
Oh my
I'm-
god.
I'm not even.
Yo, the
I
Roman
don't.
Catholic Church choir is fire.
I like it.
On this
Don't
song?
put them in there.
I also
No, not
don't.
the-
I don't hate it. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not cringeworthy at all.
I was cringing every time I heard it. I was like, dang, man. This is just I just was like, why did you put this in this song? Like it's so cheesy. And it's like part of the song is trying to sound hard, and then it's like that comes in when the beat drops. I'm like, I can't even enjoy the beat drop. Like
I agree because from a production standpoint, the beat is kind of interesting. There's some
The
stuff.
beat is
going on.
hard. The beat is
There's
hard.
there's like an old school sound
It's very different
that's like a snare hit. I don't know what to call it, but it's like a one shot noise that plays when the snare hits. I
Yeah.
love that sound.
It's very
yeah.
different from the rest of the instrumentation, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it caught me off guard, but
This is like the most rap centered piece on here, and I feel like they have to have at least one of those tracks on here. I think Levitate is like another big one on Trench, which was their previous album.
Mhm.
But yeah, they always want they're really big into hip hop, so got to do it a little bit. But this hook ain't it though. Like it doesn't even feel like a hook. It's almost like a pre-chorus that just like gives you blue balls. Doesn't do anything at all.
Oh, the part where it sort of like switches up and just
We got people on the way.
Oh, yeah.
That's the hook. We want you home in one piece, man. That's the hook. What?
Yeah. I
What are
saw
you
where
doing?
I saw what they were going with, like switching it up, like, you know, throwing you for a loop and like going soft, like for the hook, which I like. Like certain songs do that super well, but I don't think it went over well here for me. But
I love when David shakes his head because I know he's just like, I know he's disappointed. Like he's just straight up disappointed. He's not having a good time.
I mean,
just like the heavy
dang.
sigh.
Yeah, I guess so. But
I get
They
it.
say they sell the information in those terms of agreement right here. That's the line.
that's why I was wondering what this was about, because it almost sounded like the perspective of someone sending like people after someone, right? Like, I think he said like we have like bodies or something. Like we
We get bodies every day. Yeah.
I was like, and it's like, you know, he sort of like trying to sound hard maybe with the hip hop stuff, but I'm not sure what it was. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
It felt like I was missing something. Like they were trying to be clever, and I just wasn't getting the meaning behind the innuendo and the metaphor and like all that stuff. And I don't know that there was. So I don't know. I'm not mad at the song necessarily. I wouldn't say I'll skip it, but like you said on the previous one, it's not one I'm running to.
This is a skip for me.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know. I don't hate it. I just don't really care for it. It doesn't do a whole lot for me.
Yeah.
But I like the beat though. Whenever it allows itself to breathe.
I do like the beat though.
Yeah, my favorite part was the end because they just sort of like let the beat play out.
Let
you
it
know?
rock, yeah. Which is another thing that they like people in general need to do. I know it's not like what.
I think I'm
No,
laughing
I
at that.
said my favorite part is the end. Like,
Yeah.
'cause
Oh,
it's over.
I
I
knew
think
what he was saying.
Alex and I were laughing
Not
at that
so
same
bad.
thing where it was like, yeah, I like the
Yeah.
song when it ends, when it's over, when I'm not
No,
hearing it
yeah.
anymore.
That's not what I meant. Yeah, the beat right out is good. Your song
Yeah,
should
no,
do it.
I feel like a lot more songs should do that. I know it's not the most efficient thing in terms of streaming numbers, and not really a lot of people like that. I'm assuming because a lot of people have. I hate overgeneralizing, but like with attention spans being so low, like this like hip hop has like songs that are like a minute and a half, minute and 40 seconds, and they're hits, and like people love them and they'll gobble that shit up. So like the shorter it is, it's almost like the better. But
Yeah.
I definitely, if it's a hard beat and you have a 3-minute song and you let it ride out for the 40 seconds, I am totally fine with that.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah, for sure. And,
Like
yeah.
Dua Lipa's Levitating like remix with the baby on it, they actually let it breathe for like 10 to 15 seconds after, and I'm just like, bro, this is so dope. Like, because the beat's fire, just let it breathe a little bit. And then
Yeah.
when people say I'm gonna let it breathe, they don't let the fucking beat breathe. I hate that line. You don't know what it means.
yeah, for sure.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I enjoy
Or
it, too.
they'll say like let it breathe, and then they change the beat. or like they'll like drop out the snare or they'll drop out the bass for like they let it breathe and then it kicks back and it's like no.
Maybe they mean all they're gonna do is breathe on that beat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I will be breathing. Let me breathe. I'm going to breathe and then continue.
Time to breathe.
Yeah.
So this last one, I think this is Rocio's favorite, and I like went back and forth on it a lot, and I think I finally enjoy it, but it took me a while.
Dang, that's interesting because this is one of my favorites on here. Probably, I like the beat a lot.
I do too.
It rides out again, but it's got like some nice piano and just nice percussion in there for sure. And it seems like the one where he really went for a theme the most. Well, maybe a couple others too, but like really went for it in a lyrical way. But I don't know if I'm missing something, but I'm not entirely sure. I guess the metaphor is like, cleaning out your closet or whatever, like getting rid of your like addressing maybe like stuff you have going on and like the way you are and like, making a change in your life maybe.
Yeah,
that too.
You have it on Genius, right, Trevor?
I have it up, yeah, but
do you want to, because you can read it, so you'll probably do better than I can.
I mean, I don't really, I hate doing that because I feel like it's kind of like me just piggybacking off other people's thoughts. But
well, I was just talking about the interview they linked, where he literally says what he felt the song was, what he wrote the song about.
It's let me know.
Yeah,
it tells the story of three people and the thoughts that go through their heads before they die as they worry about the impact this will have on their families, which these worries are symbolized by the future purpose of their bedrooms, as the characters will not be using them anymore. They feel the urge to tie up loose ends before they leave, something that can be applied to both personal belongings and emotional unfinished business.
Yeah, so the interview he had about the song was he talked about that it was actually a friend he had whose son died, and they could not then bring themselves to like change his bedroom. Like they couldn't, like they left it the way it was on the day he died, like for however long, like until now, basically. And so that's like he's pondering. I didn't really get the whole three people thing or whatever, but it's kind of like
you don't
the way I mean I not that I didn't get it. I understand what you meant. I didn't hear it as like separate people. I thought it was just the one guy, just him, basically.
Oh, because he talks about a woman in the second verse.
Oh, does he? Okay, I wasn't paying close enough attention.
I got I don't know what the word is, but trans dysphoria or like dysmorphia. I don't know what Rocio called it, but
body dysmorphia.
No, but it has to do with like
gender dysphoria. Yeah, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, something like that, where she's like a trans woman and she's she comes out like she wanted to change her name, but not in the traditional way. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I remember that line. Okay,
yeah. And she didn't want to see herself with the mirror because she puts a blanket over the mirror and then she gets cold with the way that she's living, so she tears it off and she sees who she actually is.
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense that it is about multiple people, because I think that's part of what he's trying to communicate, is like that it's not only one person who would have this feelings and feel this way, and it's the idea being like the song being called Redecorate is like, do you do what that family did and not touch the room because you can't bear yourself to like erase the memory of the person in that way? Or would they not have felt strongly enough about you in your life that it would have been an easier thing to do to like erase your memory in that way of like redecorate your room, like make it like repurpose, redecorate, like change it, clean it, whatever. And so he talks about like, can I at least straighten out my room before I go, this, that, or that thing. And so it's just
I always get AJR vibes every time I hear that line. At least let me clean my room, because that's a total AJR line, but not in like obviously it means something in this song, but like AJR tends to have like very 12-year-old perspective songs where that's exactly how it would sound. But
they're talking about action.
It's definitely the most lyrical depth and the heaviest topic on the album for sure. I think
I mean,
like it's something
suicide like
we all feel in general of like what's my legacy, like what do I leave behind when I'm no longer here, and that kind of stuff. And is it just a messy room, or is it something more than that, or or less. I don't know. So
It also deals with suicide in the first verse, which I
Yep.
didn't get for the longest time. But then, Rocio, being the lovely woman that she is, and like just will point out like the specific lyrics and just like, oh, this is what it means. Like flat on his back, but he still heard the directive, like his inner thoughts telling him to kill himself. That's fucking awful to think about. Orders from that corner where the shadow always lived. He never asked permission. He just hopes that they forgive. Like that's, man, that's not fucked up.
Yeah.
But this this entire song kind of brings me back to, I was watching Queer Eye last night, and there was an episode about a man in his 40s that lost his wife to cancer, and
fuck cancer.
he has what?
Obligatory fuck cancer.
Oh yeah, fuck cancer. Yeah, absolutely. But he lost his wife to breast cancer, and they had 2 sons, and they went through his house like they normally do, and he admitted that he never touched anything that was hers after that. Like he couldn't bring himself to use her dresser, move her clothes, take the pictures down, even sleep on the side of the bed that she used to sleep on. Like he always used his side of the bed. Like that's a real thing. Like, and it's self-destructive because it doesn't allow you to move on and cope. It just keeps you in that same space. Like everything is fine apart from them not being there.
Yeah, it's a very heavy coping mechanism for experiencing that sort of egregious
awful.
loss, like losing
It's
your wife,
awful.
losing your child. Like it's absurd, absurdly heavy. I'd pray to whatever entity there is that never happens to me or anyone I care about, or really anyone, obviously. But it's intense, it's tough. So
yeah, because I can't imagine that's like something that, depending on the circumstance, it's very hard to get yourself out of that, I feel.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you probably need you need a good support system for sure to just help like let you know when it's time to move on. I would imagine like that's part of it for sure. So I respect, now that I know more about the song, I definitely respect it. I already, I kind of figured it was about some heavy stuff, but I couldn't quite pick up on it. So
yeah,
definitely then, if that's my lyrically favorite song on the album for sure, and I do like the song.
Yeah, no, I love the production on here too.
Yeah,
a very chilled, laid back, very simplistic, honestly. Like I don't know, it's like a haunting rainy day kind of vibe. Very soft.
It's like chill and melancholy, but it's not like trying to be like heart wrenching, but it's like it fits the vibe at the same time.
There's a simple like guitar picking of do 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 do, and I also do like when it leads into the chorus where he asks, like, or he allows it to connect to the line, I don't want to go like this. Like each verse leads into that line. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like when artists do that.
Yeah.
This wraps up the absolutely. This wraps up the album, man.
Yeah.
Very short 37-minute journey, 11 tracks.
Yeah, it is quick, which I liked about it, that it stays moving.
Yeah, I can definitely say if this album was longer, I would have enjoyed it a lot less. It would have like worn on me for sure, because I was like, dang. That's much appreciated. Yeah. Like general thoughts on it, I feel like I'm glad I gave it 3 spins, because I was able to pick out the songs I liked and enjoy them more fully and stuff. But I think generally most of the songs I'm like, all right, this is okay. And then some of the songs I really don't like, and then some I do like, but are not anything amazing. So I don't know. Do you guys? Is this like a high point? Do you think, Trevor, for their discography, or like? I wonder, like.
No.
Yeah.
It's not. But
Okay.
I'll get to that in a second, because I did want to rank their albums in my current taste of their music right now.
Okay.
But
yeah.
Gotcha.
no, for the fan base, no. Like I was saying earlier, I think they probably won't like this album at all. I think Redecorate will be the only one that they like, and they kind of move on. So
I was wondering about their creative process, because on the last song on Redecorate, it sounds like he might be talking about himself, because he talks about like scaled back and isolated, which I guess maybe is like what the album title's from, Scaled and Icy. I thought that might be the case.
It is. Yeah, they
Yeah.
make it.
I
They
like
bring it
that.
up where the
Yeah.
what he said was like with the pandemic, everything was supposed to be like scaled back socially, and then you isolate yourself socially, and the idea of like saying it as scaled and icy just like sounds like cool and fun as opposed to
Not only
scaled
that-
back and isolated, which are depressing and lonely.
Not only that, but like this album sonically is scaled back
That's what I was thinking. Like,
from their previous albums. This is not ambitious in their discography. What were you gonna say?
yeah. That kind of confirms it, I guess, that like they sort of just took that approach of just in isolation with everything being scaled back or whatever, and they just made like a scaled back album in a way. Yeah, which doesn't necessarily play to my ear too well with some of the stuff I already brought up. I wish because they have some genre blending stuff, and I wish they sort of would expand on the musical ideas they had maybe in a more satisfying way to me. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay. You want to give it a rating?
Yeah, I guess we can give it a rating. For me, it's a 5 out of 10.
I was expecting that.
Yeah,
I think when you surmised your ideas of, I don't like a lot of these, I like some of these, and a lot of these I don't, or like they're fine. I could totally see the 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
About you, Alex, you want to
Well,
give it it's not a 2 out of 10.
No, not for.
I hope
my
not. I
opinion.
mean, maybe Alex. I don't know.
Nah. But yeah, I can see where they're trying to go with a lot of what's on here, but a lot of it doesn't hit a home run for me. It's not bad music by any means. It's definitely palatable. It's just I feel like some songs are really forgettable, and I don't see myself listening to it. So I was pretty much right on the same page with David. I'm gonna give it a 5.
Dang.
Okay.
Yeah.
About you, Cam.
Yeah, it's definitely not ambitious, but I almost kind of like it for its lack of ambition. I guess I'm looking at my name and I'm
agree.
like, do I like 21 Pilots? Because apparently, if I like this album, then it's not like the rest of their music. So, am I a true 21 Pilots fan? Absolutely not. That's a joke, but we'll find out. I'm interested because like we talked about Blurry Face being huge, and I like
Blurry Face is great.
the stuff off of that, and that's what I was largely convinced their sound was more like. And then this one was, like you said, more scaled back and just chill and relaxed, and we get that heavy stuff at the end. But other than that, it's just nice. So yeah, I enjoy listening to it. So drop a 7 on there for sure. It's good but not great. They're not doing anything crazy. But I like it for that. I like it as it is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Cool. We actually did a long episode on this. I didn't think we were gonna scratch
Me
an
neither.
hour. We're at 70 minutes. Like this is
Yeah.
kind of crazy. I was expecting to have to kind of try to carry this because I didn't know how you guys were gonna feel about it. But dope. I'm gonna give this album an 8 out of 10. It's got a lot of really great vibes that I absolutely just fuck with so hard. Like I said earlier, the first 7 tracks besides Choker is like, it's back to back to back. I love every track on there. And even when it slows down, it's not enough to make me, kind of cringe and be like, why is this on here? Like,
Deter you.
yeah. It also has to do with the fact that it was my New York City soundtrack. I heard this album like 5 times when I was up there, and just had a headphone in, and being in my favorite place on the planet, and that's definitely going to heighten the sense of
Definitely.
enjoyment.
Cannot hurt.
Yeah.
Can't hurt.
I totally see this being on my top 10 albums of the year easily. I'm excited to see where it lands, but it will definitely make the top 10. I'll spoil that for you guys when we do that in 6 months.
Nice.
And I
Yeah.
kind of want to give like a really rough like ranking of their albums. So I'll put it's so tough because every time I think about Blurry Face, there's so many legit absolute bangers on there. But I have this one at my number 1, which will be super blasphemous.
Ooh, baby.
If anyone is listening to this episode and you've never heard any of our music boxes before, you're just coming because it's a 21 Pilots album, and you hear me say that, I'll put my hands up. Please don't shoot me. I know everyone likes Vessel a lot.
Dislike.
Yeah, we might get a couple dislikes if I'm being honest with you, but I got this one at number 1. I got Blurry Face at 2. Trench is at 3. Vessel is 4, and their self-titled debut is number 5. So,
dang, so it is a high point in
But
their discography. Okay.
for me, that's what I was.
yeah.
That's why I kept
Okay,
saying, that's why I kept saying for the fan base.
Okay.
I am totally removed from that fan base. I have
That's
no
dude.
say in. No, this is. I'm against the grain. I can almost guarantee you.
Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I almost can't imagine someone being so bent out of shape about the album that they find a review that's over an hour long, just hoping that we shit on it the entire time, so that like that would be that's
Yo,
like a
they're just
level
gonna
of
tell me-
that's
Yo,
like an
David,
outrageous
you're gonna
level
be
of
David Spin. Yeah.
that's an outrageous level of dedication to your very specific music taste. So good for you for feeling that strongly about anything. I don't know that I do. So
Yeah, for sure.
but it happens. People feel the way they do. So leave an honest rating.
Yeah, let us know what you thought of it for sure. We got in a week we got Art Angels coming up by Grimes featuring our friend Brian, friend of
Have
the
you guys
show.
heard it yet?
Nope.
I'm excited. Y'all better start because that shit's long.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start tomorrow. So
Same.
yeah, it's
Dope.
I looked. It's only like 40 something minutes, right? According
Is
to
it? I might be
Spotify.
thinking of a different one then.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad. I was happy when I saw that.
I might be
mean,
totally wrong.
But yeah, I mean, looking forward. I'm interested. Big Grimes
50.
fan
It's
coming
50.
on. Oh, okay, gotcha. So, be an interesting episode next week.
Yeah, we're gonna have the big boy Brian on. I
Yeah,
think you just said that. I'm sorry, I tuned out because I was looking at my phone. But I'm very excited to have Brian on here. We haven't had him on in over 50 episodes now, so it'll be nice. We'll be a little tipsy
Mhm.
for a drunk review. I don't think we've done a review when we were inebriated, so it'll be a fun time. It'll probably be mostly us just debating on. Just like literally shitting on his opinion and him shitting on us even more. Like that's exactly how the vibe is gonna go, and it's gonna be wonderful.
I'm ready for the debate. Yeah, hash it up.
Gotta give it a bunch of listens. All right.
It's been freaking real, everybody.
Yep, it has absolutely been real, and I'm excited for the future of these episodes. Let us know what you thought. Tell us if you like Skilled and Icy. Tell us if it is a 2 out of 10 and we're all wrong. Yeah.
One of
with
us should
that,
have
I'll
worn a red
say-
flannel.
Dang, I do have a couple.
I should have
I
just
do too.
Waldo with my circle glasses. But I'll say I love you all.
Yes. In my my outro, I say be kind now, and I'll say, since suicide was a topic that we talked about, and mental health and all that, reach out to your friends. Maybe someone you haven't heard from for a while. Reach out, check in. Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of. So let's all take care of each other, and be good to each other. So if you want to find us on socials, which feels weird to plug after a mental health awareness message, but anyway,
Maybe we shouldn't.
it's in the YouTube description, but it's at Unboxing Life Pod on Instagram and Twitter for you audio listeners, and it's also r/Unboxing Life Podcast. So find us on there, leave us reviews on YouTube and iTunes, and you'll get your review read, possibly. So there's that.
Not possibly, guaranteed. Or your money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. So like I said, be kind, reach out to someone you care about, and stay safe, everyone.
Absolutely. Stay safe. Stay excellent to everybody. The little things do add up. If you can help in any way, it doesn't have to be anything big. Just help out. Do the dishes. Maybe mom's tired for the day. Maybe cook her dinner. You don't have to cook for just on Mother's Day.
Dang.
It's a very specific tangent for no reason. I'm glad we covered this. I can't believe we went for over 70 minutes. I thought this was going to be a 40-minute episode. I'm glad you guys liked half of it and gave it a 5 out of 10. I'm totally fine with that. Yeah. If you're a 21 Pilots fan, I apologize. That's all I'm gonna say. So,
Dang.
Fantano, not forever. Peace out, baby.